Welcome back to the Chatty Chairwoman. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. There's so many content creators in these YouTube streets, but you decide to visit the Chatty Chairwoman. Thank you so much, and don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe button, or the share button before you exit. So let's get right into it. We're talking about Love and Marriage DC. I'm going to say it was better than Love and Marriage Huntsville. As a matter of fact, Love and Marriage Huntsville is dragging and repetitive, moving right along. So it opens up with Ashley and Monique having a meetup at lunch, and they're both complaining about needing more support from their busy husbands. Well, not Chris. He's retired. He's already worked, so he's fortunate enough to be retired. So complaining about needing more support in terms of helping to run the household and care for the kids from their husbands, and they're so exhausted. So, and then it moves on to DJ Quick meeting up to talk about his future schedule, because apparently him and Jamie are going to have a competition in terms of events on this big HBCU college weekend. And of course, he mentions that he has about 15 events planned, and how is he going to tell his wife? She's always complaining that she needs more time with him and she needs more of his participation in the family. And he also mentioned that at one point in his career, he was hospitalized for exhaustion. So trying to keep that lifestyle up, we all know that DC is very expensive. The cost of living is so much higher. So of course he's trying to take care of his family, and that comes with a sacrifice to his wife and children. So it starts to get interesting when Chris and Keith Williams. Now Keith Williams is the soon-to-be ex-husband of Winter Williams. Now, if you remember my review the last time, I said she was the one who had shaved half her head, and she talked about how she found some stuff out about him, and he went and moved back into his parents' basement. She said he thought he had his own apartment, but he actually lived with his parents. But, I don't know how you marry someone and you've never been to their house. Anyway, what do I know? I'm only the chatty chairwoman. So that to me is kind of odd, considering her business is what? A relationship coach. So wouldn't that be one of the basic questions, the basic things you would check off when you're dating someone and you're moving to marriage? I mean, they knew each other a year, she said, before they actually got married. So in the first 2-3 months, don't you want to know where he lived? I don't know. It's kind of strange to me. Maybe she was caught up. Remember now, this is her second marriage. So maybe she was so wounded from the first marriage that he was just a nice guy that she had her blinders on. Who knows? But who am I? We'll learn more, because he and Chris are chatting it up, and he tells Chris that he got the divorce papers and that she wants him to sign it. She doesn't even want to talk about it, which is something, because the flip side, in the first episode, Winter said that and made it appear to be that it was all his fault, and that they're moving forward with a divorce, and she had not seen him in 6 months. But he's saying that she's the one pushing the divorce, and that he wants her. Even his children are asking about her, and and one of his children said, "Where is Mom Winter? When can I see her?" But she's making it look like it's all on him. Now, he tells Chris that he was accused of spending the corporate money on taking his children ice skating. So he said his company found out he used, I guess, their credit card or their funds to take his children ice skating. He says, "I've never taken my children ice skating." So their claim against me is not valid. I'm assuming that it blows up to something even bigger. Maybe that was something that triggered a bigger investigation. But clearly, you're not going to be in all of this chaos and financial strain if it's not a bigger issue than what, $50 at the ice skating rink. Come on. And I must say, I don't know why, but he looked real. I shouldn't give my opinion based on people look. But he look real shady. He reminds me, I think, of somebody on Good Times. Like one of the clowns on Good Times who used to come by and try to, you know, hustle JJ. And I know that's showing my age, but he reminds me of one of those them hustlers on Good Times. So I don't know why. Immediately when I saw him, I was like, oh my gosh. But that the image that they show of him with Chris doesn't do him justice, because when him and Winter Williams, if you see the episode, announced their engagement, there was a beautiful picture of him and her. They look really great together, but maybe that's professional photography. I don't know, but he looked way more attractive and less scary in that announcement of their engagement. So anyway, so moving right along. So the way that he presented it to Chris, Monique's husband, was that she's the one pushing for the divorce. His company has charged him, but it's all a misunderstanding. He's trying to get it all worked out. Blah, 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 blah. So for me, red flag, if he's living in his parents' basement at that age, that's something. Now, if he owned the house and his parents lived there with him and he's a single man, that is different. That is very different, okay? And we know in DC, some of those basements can be very small. So, that's a whole nother story. So we move right along, and Monique apparently has been filling in as a guest radio show host at this station. They invite her back and ask her would she want to do a longer trial run. And they do bring up that the red flag is that she was on the Real Housewives of Potomac, and that we all know how that turned out. But she says she does not go for drama. If drama comes to her, she will handle it. And the executive looked at her like, okay, time for me to go. But Monique said she was excited, even when she heard that she needed to be at the station at 5 a.m. The things that moms must consider. How do I juggle it? How do I do it? Can I do it? Is Chris going to be able to fill in for me? So that becomes the bigger question. And that's a big deal, to be at work at 5 a.m. and you have 3 children in school, probably all in elementary school. Wow, that's going to be major, because you got to be there at 5 a.m. You got to go to bed by what time? 8? I don't know. But you got to go to bed pretty early, and the kids are still up running around. Well, the beautiful part about them, they have the resources. They can hire the help. So let's see how that Monique and Chris hosted with all of the couples. She even brought in her hairstylist, Tanya, who did her hair when she was on Real Housewives of Potomac. They were all sitting there having great dialogue, and Chris and Monique started talking about there was a time when Monique was sick and Chris didn't tend to her. He didn't check on her. He just kind of let her be there, and she told him that he needed to check on her, and he says, no, that's not how the story went. And they go back and forth, and they're bickering in front of everybody at the table. What did I tell you guys in my review? Are they in a good place to be on reality TV? Should Chris and Monique have come and put their marriage back in the public spotlight and the ridicule and the criticism that comes with social media? So they're going back and forth, and you can see that this is a carry-on of where they are in their marriage, right? 10 years. Remember I said it before, the 7-year itch. Well, I guess theirs came in a little later. 10 years. And they're going back and forth, and everybody at the table is like, oh my God, are they really talking about this like this in front of us? And everybody's rolling their eyes like, don't feed this energy. And Chris basically tells Monique to hush. And she tells him, you're going to ruin this entire dinner. Don't do that. And then I guess he realized, I guess being Chris is the laid back guy he is, he better clean this up. And he reached over and he kissed her to kind of break that tension. But I was like, wow, this is the red flag that we see all the time, because every time Chris and Monique talk, they're arguing. She was arguing with him about pillows on the sofa. Why did he sit on her pillows when she just fluffed them up? So we all know it ain't about the pillows. It's something bigger. Maybe she's bored, maybe she's frustrated, maybe she's tired, maybe she doesn't feel appreciated or fully loved or valued. but it's not about the pillows. I said, is she really arguing with him about the pillows? Is this what's really happening here? But even when she's with other people, every time she talks about him, it is negative. It is negative. So I want to see how all of this plays out. And I really hope they're in a good place for all of this. So anyway, Chris, I have to add, Chris also said, and he broke the fourth wall when he said, roll back the tape. Roll back the tape. So he told the producers to roll back the tape to make sure his point is proven, okay, when dealing with Monique. Anyway, and on another side note, when Dr. Heavenly and Martell Holtz from Love and Marriage Huntsville were guests on Carlos King's nightcap, Carlos King, being the messy king that he is, asked them both, is it okay for a husband to tell his wife to be quiet? And Dr. Heavenly, who goes about on this mission of women should be submissive to their husbands, said absolutely right, that sometimes the wife needs to be quiet and listen and stop running off at the mouth, because women can run off at the mouth. And Martell agreed. He said, yes, the husband should have the right to tell his wife to be quiet, and the wife should have the right to tell her husband to be quiet. So he kind of cleaned it up. But of course, Dr. Heavenly is like, the husband is the head of the household. You have to follow his lead in order for it to work. And she, Carlos reminded us, Dr. Heavenly's been married 28 years. Well, actually, she's been married 25. They were together 3 years before that. So that's some input from Dr. Heavenly and Mr. Martell. You notice I call him Mr. Martell Holtz. Anyway, so moving right along, Ashley asks Winter how long did she know Kevin, her soon-to-be ex-husband, before she married him. This is all at the dinner party, and she said she knew him a year. And then Ashley called her on it. She said, you didn't know he lived in his parents' apartment? And Winter said, she said no. So, but she gave no explanation. But it kind of made her look real crazy, sitting there at the table with all her advice and being free with all of the information in terms of what happened in her marriage. And then hopefully Monique is talking to Karen Huger. That's what we need to say right now. Hopefully Monique is talking to Karen Huger, and Karen Huger is saying, I don't like the way you're portraying yourself and your marriage on TV. Okay, Karen, please reach out to Monique, because she's going all in on Chris. Okay, she's going all in. Chris is now, she's taking all her energy and she's turned it toward Chris. And that's not a good look. So hopefully during this episode, during this season, she will find another target. He should not be the target. Hello, Monique. He should not be the target, because you're going to end up losing in a very big way. So we will see how all of this pans out. And I really like the best storyline right now is Winter and Kevin Williams. And it's unique because I don't think we've ever seen a show preview or premiere where one person is single going through a divorce and the other party is willing to come on TV and talk and give their side. Maybe because Chris probably insisted upon it, because remember in episode 1, Chris said he wanted to hear Kevin's side because he has known Kevin from playing in the NFL. He's known him for many, many, many years, and he's a good guy. It's only fair to hear his side. So I'm wondering, maybe that is it, because he probably said, man, if you don't get on this show and defend your reputation, she's going to drag you through the mud. So that's probably why. Because I'm thinking back, I think about all of the Bravo shows and OWN only has a few, but I don't think I've ever recalled where a couple comes on already in the motion for divorce. I've never seen it. Usually we see them and they're going well, and it might be a couple of years before you see any signs of a divorce or a divorce actually happens. So this is very unique. I like that approach. I also said that I loved the last time the fact that they're really showing the husbands' lives. They're showing their careers. They're showing them in meetings. I think not in meetings with other members of the cast in terms of the women, but in meetings for themselves. So that's what I like about this, because I don't think I've ever seen, it's kind of the same way that they did Huntsville, where they're showing the men, they're giving the men a voice, they're giving the men a presence, they're making the men valid characters or people on the show. So for me, I love that part. I love DC. I love it because I know that it's a great place to grow and thrive, and I just love being in all of their lives. And of course, I love the fashion. Don't we love the fashion? And to see their beautiful homes, and to see Monique prepare this vegan dinner for everyone, and have a chef and this and just a wonderful experience of all of these wonderful, beautiful Black people. We all love it. So I love the whole vibe. I cannot wait. It looks like it's going to get really good next episode. But I think Winter and Kevin's storyline is the most interesting right now, because Ashley complaining about DJ Quicksilver not being available enough and not being present. Shoot, hire somebody. I think that's a simple fix. Not enough drama. Jamie and Irana talking about their children. Of course, that's a big deal. She did mention at the dinner table, what I forgot to talk about, how, because they wanted to know how in the world did they make it to 24 plus years of marriage. And he said there was a time where, well, actually he told her not to talk about it in his confessional. He said, since we're past that period in our marriage, there's no need to even bring it up. That period is where he threw all the parties, where the women were all over him, where the environment was not an environment for a married man. He says, we've gotten through that. And she said, Irana said, she's never seen Jamie, she's never caught Jamie cheating on her. She just sensed that he had cheated on her, but she's never had proof. People will come up to her, say things to her, kind of hint at it, but she said she's never seen it for herself. So she doesn't know if he actually cheated. It just felt like he did. But since they're in a better place, Jamie was like, zip the lip. We don't want to talk about it. We don't want to present it at this table, because all it does is bring back the hurt. And all it does is bring back the hurt. But remember now, he's working with DJ Quicksilver to do this big old HBCU weekend. So he's getting back into the game. And the concern that Quicksilver had for him was, is your wife going to be happy with you turning back to this life? Because he said it takes very strong women to support a man in the entertainment business. So we shall see how this turns out. But I still believe Winter Williams is bringing it. She has the storyline. She has the personality. Kevin Williams is kind of scary. And I don't know if he's telling the truth, but we shall see. But, Chris, it seems like a very good judge of character. So if Chris says he's solid, then there has to be more to the story. And hopefully we're going to get more of that story as we get into the next episodes of, coming up. So we shall see. But it was okay. But I can still say that the other ladies will outshine Monique, because her storyline is attacking Chris. And that's not a good storyline. She needs to figure out what her storyline is going to be, because it can't be about her attacking Chris and her bragging and her being great and her being amazing. It has to be more to it, because I'm already tired. And you know what? I was like, wow. So on the Real Housewives of Potomac, she really didn't have any depth. There was no depth. So I don't know. This is her time to really shine, show some personality, but it cannot be through the lens of her marriage only. It has to be bigger than that. So hopefully when she gets on the radio show, we'll see it. Hopefully we'll see more of it with the Not for Lazy Moms. Hopefully we'll see more of it. But we shall see. It's still a good show. And I think it was better than Huntsville. That's for sure. Anyway, thank you for stopping by. This has been the Chatty Chairwoman. Thank you, board members. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and share the video if you'd be so kind. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Do you like the show? Are you watching it? Do you think it's better than Huntsville? Do you like the people? Do you think they need more people? Do you think it's dragging? It's boring? Listening to Ashley complain about needing help when she can just go hire somebody? What are your thoughts? Would love to hear it. Thank you so much for stopping by. Bye-bye.